Hi, my name is Veronica Daram. I'm a relationship coach, mom and stepmom, and this video is about potty training. So how did I potty train my 1-year-old? Or we started when my little one was 1 year old, a few days really after his first birthday, and he is now 2 years and 3 months. If you think that you're a bit too late to this party and your little one is older than 1 year old, then maybe stay for a little bit longer because you may find some good tips in this video for you as well. So I started the potty training when he just turned 1, and I got him fully potty trained within 5 months. I know I could do it faster, but what was the most important for me was to just do it the way it felt comfortable, it felt doable, and it felt right for me and the little one. This is no race. Look, there is no a healthy adult running around with a nappy. So you will get there. So for me, really the most important thing I can tell you is don't rush it, don't force it, don't try to do it within 3 days or 1 day. If it's not working, it will take time, and that's fine. And for complete clarity, my little one is 2 years and 3 months. He still has a nappy for the night, but he hasn't had a V at night probably for 5 months or maybe even longer. I don't know, for a really long time, but I just give him nappy just to be on the safe side, and it's just for my own comfort. Someone asked me if I was doing elimination communication. And so I need to always focus on that. And I said no, because if I will focus on that method, I will have to follow I will feel like I need to follow the rules, the techniques, and it will just make me stressed. Or I will feel stressed that, oh my God, look at her. She did it in 6 months, 3 months. Why is it taking me so long? So I really kind of struggle with following the rules when it comes to parenting stuff. I did a video about why I quit Montessori, about my common sense parenting, and it's just something that I don't follow specific techniques or methods because it makes me feel overwhelmed, and I do go really quickly to comparing myself. And I feel like potty training is one of the most stressful thing when it comes to parenting, because you have a kids that they are already potty trained and yours is not, and then you're like, oh my God, what I'm doing wrong, or I really have to do it because they're already potty trained. And it's like, no, you don't need to do anything that unless it's feel like you need to do something what feels right for you. So try not to compare to others when it comes to potty training or other things, because it's very personal. Everyone is different, and it just takes a bit of time and patience. So why did I start early was because everyone was scaring me about the boys and potties. Everyone's saying they take ages, they don't want to do it, they are happy with being in a wet and soiled nappy. And I was like, oh, this is my future? That doesn't sound good. I should start earlier. Another reason is that I believe that the nappies today are so damn comfortable. It's not like me who grew up on a normal cotton nappies. They're just we were very motivated to change that, because even after a little tiny wee, we felt wet. And probably the biggest reason I started earlier, I said I need to start before he discovered tantrums, before he has really mind on his own and will put up fight and will fuss about it. And if you already have a tantrums and fuss, that's okay. You can push through this. You can do it, even with tantrums and kind of putting up the fight. It's still doable. Hey, you got this. You will achieve this. Okay, so what we need for the potty training? Obviously, potty. I went for this IKEA one because it's on a smaller size, and I felt like this is kind of right size, especially if your little one is bit smaller or is young. So I feel like this is kind of right size. It's not as high. It's right size for the little ones. And then we got the other one from IKEA, which is a bit better because you can empty it a little bit easier. But whatever potty you have, it's fine. We got a travel potty, which I did a video about. You can have a look in descriptions. wipes which are flushable, the underwear, and pull-up nappies because it's just easier to just pull them down instead of just taking, the straps. It's just, easier to just pull down. And easy clothes because you don't want to do potty training and start like, and unzip it and undo it and taking everything. Now you need something you just kind of just pull down or lift up. So, and now how we did it. I focused first on poo because my little one was giving me a really clear signs when he was about to have a poo since he was baby. So if you have these clues, for example, Theo, sorry Theo if you're watching this in the future, his face when he was baby, he was just like, his face got like, he literally just like stood like, ugh. And then he had a really thinking face and his face got red. So it's like, oh yeah, he's about to have a poo. Plus his tummy started making sometimes funny noise. So I was like, oh yeah, he's about to have a poo. As a toddler, it was really more about farting. So when he starts farting and has a really smelly farts, I was like, he's about to have a poo soon. So whatever, you kind of know your child. So you probably know the kind of the signs or the schedule. For example, Theo was kind of on schedule. He was after every meal, he had a poo. In the morning after breakfast, he had a poo. So it's kind of like if your child is on some kind of schedule, you can take that as a sign or take as a help to help you with this potty training. Obviously, there was not always time to take everything off and put him on the potty. So he had a poo in the potty. Oh my God. So what I did, I just grabbed him as he was dressed with a nappy, in the nappy and put him on a potty. And he had a poo like he was, but he was sitting on a potty. So he started getting the connection. It's like, oh, the poo goes there, or poo means potty. And that went for a few months, I think 2 months, and then obviously that sometimes he has a V as well. Sometimes I got the signs wrong and he just had a V, and that's whatever works and whatever it's fine. We didn't really focus on like having 2 different words for him for the V and poo because at that point he didn't really speak, so he was just doing like so we did, which is like in Czech Republic thing, so he's just doing sometimes he just went and later on he started pointing on his nappy that he is like, oh, it's happening. So don't need to have the 2 separate words for it if you don't want to, or if your little one is not there in terms of language. 1 word is perfectly okay because it doesn't really matter, in a bigger picture. So after a few months, I stopped giving him a nappy during a day, and I just let him be in his underwear and trousers or whatever he was wearing. This is something that a lot of people said that like it's not good because it helps, it kind of shaming the kids when they wet themselves. I was like, you know what? It's shameful only if you make it shameful. I had a really honest conversation with my family and with everyone. It's like, just in case he has an accident, there cannot be any kind of indication of shame or blame or kind of like, oh, look at you, had an accident. Oh, shame on you. Like, there can't be anything like that. And my brother accidentally said something like that before I had that conversation with him. And I did explain, how the potty training works, when do you usually start. And yeah, he got it. So it's important that your family and friends have your back. There's a 1 tip I didn't know, or trick I didn't know. I was like, oh, why didn't think about it? It was, you put the underwear first, and then you put the pull-up on. So they are kind of, they still get wet, they get the wet feeling, but you don't need to deal with cleaning or wet carpets or anything like that. So that's a really helpful tip. It's like, oh, if I only knew that before, it probably would speed up my potty training. But that's fine. Didn't know, lesson learned. And there will be accidents. I know someday he had one accident, then he had another day he had 3 or 4, and I was like, what's going on? And it's fine because sometimes they just got too busy with playing, and they just, it's overwhelming for them sometimes as well. So be patient and try really stay calm when they do have the accidents. And I know that like a few accidents as well he helped me to clean up. We just took our wipes and tissues, and we start wiping it down together. And we always like, oh yeah. But it was never blame. It was just like, oopsie, it happens. It's fine. So a really important thing, like try stay as calm as possible, even if it's not going well right now. Some people offer treats for the kids after using a potty. I never liked that idea. I think because we just started earlier, so it's just like there's not really, he doesn't have that kind of understanding, or maybe he would kind of discovers like, if I do something, they will give me a treat. And it's like, I don't really like the idea of him having the mindset of that right now or so early. So I didn't do any treats. My dad was saying, oh, to give him some chocolate or something. I was like, no, I'm not giving him anything. He's fine. He's happy with the clapping and cheering. And yeah, he was the happiest when we clapped and cheered, and that was it. We didn't need to do any treats. Do not force your child on a potty. I definitely am guilty of that. I've done it in the past, but I stopped doing it. It was really when I forced him, it was just me not understanding that he's fine to hold for a while, or not needing go on a potty for a while. And I was just stressed about, oh, it's been an hour, or it's been an hour and a half. He has to go, and I forced him. So I quickly learned that's not the way to do it, and never force the kids, because they can have the association. They can we can make it really stressful for them. The same applies for the being upset that they had an accident. If you get upset when they had an accident, it just gets the association with the stress and yelling or shouting. So even when they have accident, or don't force them, never any pressure around the potty training. And because like if you force them, it can lead actually for them to hold, especially poo. They will be holding it, and you don't want that, because that causes a lot of other issues. But the thing is, with the potty training, if you even keep asking them, do you want to go on a potty, or you forcing them, you are not letting them to learn the feelings of the need. So if they need to go, what you want from them is to let you know when it is happening, or before it's happening. Or they later on they learn like, okay, oh, I need to go, I need to ask, and I hold it until I get on the potty or on the toilet. So the aim is to teach them the feelings, how it works, what they feel when they need to go. So you're not teaching them like to sit on a potty. You want to learn, you want them to learn the feelings and needs, and communicate with you that. As well, if you're putting them on a potty too often, they just have a little wheeze. They will be forcing it, or they will not do it at all. They will be just sitting there. That's another thing. Don't let them sit there for a long time. 5 minutes is maximum they should sit on the potty. If there's nothing is happening, take them off the potty and let them be. It's like if someone will force you to go every few minutes to the toilet, you're like, oh, I don't need to go now, I don't want to go now. With that said, as we went further with the potty training, what we do now is, when I know he hasn't been on the potty for a while, and we go somewhere, and I know there will be no chance to getting the potties out, or it's just gonna be too busy, I tell him, okay, we are going out, let's go to potty, all of us. I go to toilet, you go on a potty, let's go before we go out. And I don't force him. If he said no, that he's not going. But usually he goes, he's a little wee, and then I know that I have the extra time, or I don't need to worry about the travel potty to bring with us. One more tip about potty training is, don't show your fear, don't show your panic. Because as soon your child tells you, I need a potty, a lot of parents, including myself, start doing this like, where's the potty? Where's the potty? And start rushing and panicking or grumbling child and running to the toilet. And they have a fun with this. They find it hilarious. And I could see that Theo will start having a lot of fun about my panic. And I decided, like, okay, I can't show him that anymore because I think he likes it. And fair enough, my neighbor told me the story about her friend's child that she laughed when her parents started panicking. So she started asking for the potty just to see the show. Even though she didn't need to, she just loved the show when, and the fear and panic of her parents. So don't show your fear, don't show your panic. Just calmly get the potty and put them on the potty. One more thing, always ask nursery or childminders how they do potty training. If they are taking any part of that or how they can support you. There are a lot of nurseries that they will just say, okay, what are you doing at home? We will take it on here as well. Some nurseries, they go like, no, they have to be potty trained before we, take any actions here. Otherwise they get a nappy. So just get really clear on what is going on in your nursery or with the childminder or daycare, whatever. I'm sure they will help you out with this. If not, then you are at least clear that you can work on that at home and just communicate what you're doing. So just in case that the child will start asking at the nursery, they know what to do. So I wish you all the success with the potty training. If you have any questions, please just leave the comment. And again, potty training is not a race. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience. And instead of doing it really quickly or doing like 3 days method, if it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't feel right, just don't do it or take a different actions or, try different styles or different methods because it needs to be easy for you, mainly for you. The child will adapt. They will do something they like. And as long as you are kind of okay and you're in peace, they will be fine as well.